Welcome down, everyone, to another episode of Those Nerds You Know. My name is Ethan.
I'm Eddie.
And we are Those Nerds You Know. And I realized that just coming in, I don't think we've done this in a while, to actually explain what our podcast is. Because I know
That's
a lot of
probably
podcasts
true.
will do that at the top. Just so anybody coming in, just so you know, we are a podcast where my good friend Eddie and I sit down and we talk about and review nerdy things that we love. Movies, comic books, video games, manga, anime, everything in that sort of sphere of comic-y stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that about do it?
Yeah, I would say that's what we do sometimes. Make fun of each other at times with
Excellent,
our tastes
yeah.
and questionable decisions on things, but
Yep.
you know.
Talk about each other's poor taste. And
Or just Ethan's, because Eddie doesn't have poor taste.
excuse me, Eddie. Look.
Like this movie that we watched today. I watched it yesterday, but
I think it was fine.
Spoiler alert, I didn't really like it.
You don't like superhero stuff, though, so who are you?
No, I don't like DC superhero stuff.
Okay.
Marvel's alright.
It's alright.
But, you know.
So, as you know from the title, we watched and are going to review The Death of Superman, animated film from DC that came out this year. I recently, I think, I didn't ever see an actual release date, but I think it was in July, but I'm not entirely certain. Somebody tweeted us and let us know when it was.
No, I'll check it. It's fine. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
Or you can. It's fine. July 20th, 2018.
Crushed it, yes.
So, like,
It was
last
in
month.
July. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it follows the follows the storyline of when Superman was killed by Doomsday.
What's the point? There's no point to this movie. Oh my god. We'll get to that later, I guess. But Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, but just so you know, Eddie, because you haven't seen Batman v Superman, right?
Correct.
This film is a crap ton better than that.
So I've heard. I mean, I've seen the reviews and stuff on it. Like, I haven't actually read any, but
Yes.
I've seen the ratings, and it's gotten high ratings. So
Yeah. Batman v Superman is essentially like this story is one of the main plot lines that was like shoehorned and thrown into Batman v Superman.
Whoa.
Which super dumb. That movie was such a pile of garbage.
I really have to watch that sometime.
You really do, just for the experience. Watch the edited theatrical run, just to observe all of the broken threads and things. It's so absurd. I remember watching the full extended director's cut or whatever with David, and there were so many points where we were just mesmerized as to why certain things in this cut were not put in the theatrical cut. Because that's just it was mind-boggling. So there's a whole character that's in the extended cut that's not even in the theatrical cut, and I'm just what?
Interesting.
It helps explain. I mean, it's still a train wreck. It's still kind of a mess of a movie, but it explains a couple of things at least. But yeah, that movie's bad all around in any cut. But so if you take that movie and remove the subplot of Batman fighting Superman for no really good reason in that film, and if you already established the Justice League, then you kind of get this film. This film is just we have an established Justice League, we have a Superman, but he hasn't revealed his Superman identity to his crush, Lois Lane. Yes. He's so he's dating her as Clark Kent, but he's being real distant and stuff, and not revealing things and making her think that there's something in this something going on in his life that he doesn't want to share.
Or he just doesn't have the confidence to do anything, because that's what Clark Kent's persona is.
Yeah. Kind of like a big, muscly wuss.
Yeah. He's got glasses on.
He does have glasses
makes all
on.
the difference.
What a nerd wearing glasses.
Superman would never wear glasses.
Do you think he could give himself LASIK surgery if he needed to? Hold a mirror up and just
I mean, he shoots
his
lasers
lasers
from his eyes.
I know.
I don't.
you think if his vision went bad, it would affect his lasers? Like if he gets older and gets cataracts, he's gonna have like holes in his lasers.
Does it just like expand outward and like not able to aim them or anything?
Yeah, like one shoots in an entirely different direction.
Oh no, I'm Cyclops now.
Just like B-list Cyclops. That's really
gotta
good.
get some glasses that go across my entire face. Circular.
Just call me Trick Shot.
I'm looking forward, but my lasers are shooting to the left.
That's great. Oh. Anyways, so yeah, there's that subplot's going on, and he like decides to reveal his identity to her. So essentially, like this movie is to make us like feel for Superman, and his established relationship, and then have him die, which is kind of it's kind of undone by like the ending and the credit sequences.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. What did you love about this movie, Eddie?
What did I love about it?
Yes, what was great? Let's go there first.
The use of the thum sound whenever he like impacts things. I think that was nice. If a little overused, maybe perhaps, but the animation was alright. I like the fighting animation.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was good.
The drawn choreography. Some of the jokes were actually kind of funny. I enjoyed the coworker HR comment that I'm not sure if Lois Lane said that to his coworker or not, but there was an old bald guy in the cubicle behind them, and he said something that could be sexual, and she was like, "Oh, it's the HR department," and he's like, "Oh." I thought that was really funny.
Yep. Yes, that's good. I like the Flash in this. The Flash is typically a funny guy, and so he was good. Liked seeing Flash. It was cool seeing Hal Jordan. I assume it was Hal. I'm pretty sure that's the Green Lantern. I don't think this universe would have been far enough along to have another one. Although I think it would have been perfectly fine to have Jon Stewart at that point. But who cares? They're getting a movie anyway, so no worries.
Yeah, who cares?
You gonna go see that Green Lantern movie and whenever it comes out? Probably never.
I mean, maybe. Depends on if we do a review or not. In that case, but
I think we almost certainly will be obliged to.
When is this movie coming out? And maybe David will be back before then.
Oh, he likely will. I think originally the Green Lantern Corps movie was slotted at like the very end of the DC like movie slots, but like they're every other week they have a different it changes so much. So I don't know when it's coming out. I would assume not for a bit, but I think currently the synopsis of it has there being both Hal and John, which is cool.
Well, I know Hal. I don't know the other guy. So
Hal's the original white guy. Kind of. Hal's the original redone white guy from the middle of the century. There's the guy before him, but Hal's your basic original Green Lantern as we know it, original recipe Green Lantern, and then the second one is Jon Stewart, who is the black guy. That's Green Lantern, who's the Green Lantern that is common from the Justice League show that was on Cartoon Network when we were younger. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. He's the second. After him, I think Kyle Rayner's next. And Guy Gardner, or I could have those two confused. I don't know. But those are the other two that show up. Kyle Rayner and Guy Gardner. Yeah.
I only know one of those names.
Hal Jordan's your original pilot, military guy. Jon Stewart's I think he was an architect. I'm not entirely certain, but he had really cool constructs, well thought out and big, nice looking constructs. And then Kyle Rayner was a graphic designer, and Guy Gardner was, I believe, a professional football player. And kind of like a jock, sort of dunce guy of all of them. But anyways, regardless, only one of those people was in this movie. How? That was a very ridiculous tangent for no reason. Most of that knowledge I have because of David. Thanks, David. Yeah. So, Hal was in it. Martian was in it as well. Although I feel like he could have been a lot stronger of a player in this because he's a pretty powerful.
But he was invisible
hero.
for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he got punched really hard again. Or he got set
thrown,
on fire.
Yeah, he got thrown into a gas station because fire is his weakness because he's afraid of it.
Well,
so that was convenient, I guess.
Certainly got burned up a little bit.
But he could also just phase through people and like rip out their heart. So I'm like, if he'd have been a little more vicious, I think he probably could have handled this whole thing by his onesie. But whatever. And then what else? Who else is on the team in this? Batman, of course, obviously. Batman. Wonder Woman. And we see Aquaman.
The blonde Aquaman, which is really weird for a moment because it's been said in my mind that Mr. Jason Momoa is in my mind. And I saw that and I was like, oh wait, he was like really like Chris Evans type.
Yeah.
So that was really weird to me for a moment. That was like, oh yeah, he was originally like orange and green spandex and stuff. Whatever.
I think the Aquaman, like traditional Aquaman, is often more like probably Chris Hemsworth looking than that's
who I meant. I don't know why I said Chris Evans. I meant
that's okay. There's even versions of him where he has like long flowing hair and he has like there's a version of Aquaman that exists who has had his like I think his right arm cut off like at the elbow somewhere around there. So he has like a hook for a hand. Super awesome. It's great. It's just like this incredible captain pirate looking king of the oceans. It's great. It's a good time. He's also considerably powerful. But anyways, this movie was about Superman. So Superman was the one that got to beat up on old Doomsday.
At the end of the fight. Because he had gone through everyone and then Superman was their last hope.
Indeed, as he ends up being quite a bit, quite often.
All the time.
Yeah.
Forever. Even in the Justice League.
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded seeing some other heroes in this, too. But...
I mean, they didn't have very much screen time to begin with. So.
Right. But it would have been even cooler if you just had Doomsday just, pile through even more people. But... Yeah. That being said, if you had done that, it would have made it even less believable, I think, for me to believe that Superman would have been able to beat him. Because, again, there are people that on the Justice League that I think are comparable in strength to Superman. Who, I think Wonder Woman probably could have handled a good bit of it. But again, that's based off my limited knowledge of the comics, where things can get ridiculous really fast just because of all the history that these characters have and all the powers they like to tack onto them. So
and retconning.
Yes. So, it's very believable, I guess, that they took versions of these characters where Superman is still the big bad best of them, and super powerful. So, yeah. What's your biggest complaint about this film?
It was, well, I don't want to say it's predictable because the title of the movie is pretty out there. I don't know. I felt it was kind of boring. Even with the whole Superman fight thing. Yeah. I mean, the Superman fight was alright. Everything else was I feel like they should have expanded a bit more on the Lois Lane, Clark Kent stuff.
Yeah.
Aside from a dinner with mommy or with aunt and uncle, and then alone dinner.
They were mom and dad. Yeah.
Oh well, whatever. I don't know.
They're adoptive. Ma and Paul. And this version, his dad's not dead.
Yeah. I feel like they should have explained Doomsday a little bit more, or at least come to know a little bit more about him rather than just being a thing that came from outer space.
Yeah. Well, I think
it just wrecked everything.
Yeah, I think they're kind of maybe setting up I think
for a franchise.
The Reign of the Superman is going to be a sequel to this. That's yeah. Cause,
oh yeah, and I had no idea. Like the credit sequences, I was like, I have no idea what any of this stuff is. I'm sure it's great, and I'm sure a lot of DC fans love it. I have no idea. I don't know who the guy was that pulled his cape off of the chair or whatever, his jacket.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the big like crossing ice sculpture things were.
Righto. That's about the only thing that I do have a semblance of knowledge on, but that's about it.
And or the bloody Superman S at the end with the weird like robotic-ish Superman.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't know.
They're like various other versions of Superman that are all kind of crazy and evil, and I think that's what we're going towards. I think there's like, if I recall correctly, like the resurrected version of Superman is also kind of crazy, like not exactly out there, like kind of what they were trying to do with Justice League. So I think I don't know much about it, but
also
he
came out of his grave at the end.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, who would have thought?
Yeah, just it was weird to me that they chose to do that in this movie. Like, why not let him sit for a bit? Like, let him actually die? Like, what they... That would have been...
I would have been, like, completely okay with that. But...
And then, have some kind of weird scene like that in the beginning of the next one. So, like,
I mean, if, Infinity Wars can do it...
Yeah.
then why not an animated movie of the Superman?
Yeah. It's strange.
What
so
else?
the ice sculpture you're talking about is the Fortress of Solitude, which ends up being like where Superman, it's like his base of operations as a hero, and so which leads me to believe that one, the one that was in front of the ice doing that, is actual resurrected Superman. But we'll see. I don't know. We shall see.
So he separates himself from humanity or something? Yeah,
he makes a Fortress of Solitude for being solitudous.
Sounds pretty boring.
Did you ever see the Lego Batman movie? Did you see that?
I did not see it.
There's a scene where Batman goes to the Fortress of Solitude with his newfound adopted orphan Robin. Mm-hmm. He like knocks on the door because he's just coming to get he's like, I'm gonna come trick Superman and steal this thing from him to borrow it real quick. It's just like, don't worry, nothing's going on. We'll just go over here. He must be so sad and lonely without me. I'll come visit him. And like, Superman has thrown a party and just not invited Batman.
Oh my god,
it's super great.
They should have put in like a title card for Batman v Superman or something.
Yeah, that would have been great. Oh my gosh. Yes. Anyway,
so what happens with Lois Lane and his relationship with her?
I'm not super.
It's like, well, I saw his silhouette fly away, so obviously he's alive. Does he not love me anymore?
Right now, it's probably the case. It's probably what they'll go for. We'll see. I don't know.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What a guy. What a super guy.
Yep. What a Superman.
I did really like the sequence when they were in the space shuttle up in space, and the guy was like, "Man, Superman's gonna save us all. He's gonna save us, Superman." And then
and you got destroyed.
That was pretty funny.
Flattened out on the front of this meteorite. Yeah, it's great. I too wish that there had been more with Lois Lane, just because they go to a lot of lengths to try and establish Superman as this great, wonderful beacon of hope, nice guy, wonderful, awesome hero. And the way they go about doing that is having various individual people be like, Superman's the best. Yeah. He's my buddy. I love him.
They did do.
You can always count on Superman. And I'm like, this is a bit of a like. It makes me feel like these people are kind of strange. Yeah, I don't.
Hey, can I get a picture with you, Superman? Yeah. Oh man, this camera isn't working.
Yeah, I feel like if they had just pushed like the Lois Lane thing and made his death more of a heart-wrenching thing with her, yeah, it would have been more impactful, especially if you're giving away the crutch of your movie in the title, like
Death of Superman, maybe.
Question mark?
Just kidding.
Maybe. It'd been really funny if like he didn't die at all, but he just like ended up like goofing up a lot and just like mess up a lot of things, destroyed a big city, and like maybe accidentally caused like some deaths to people, and they were like Death of Superman's career, and it's just like we're supposed to take it as that, and just watch him completely throw away anyone's like trust in him, like oh.
Looking for the parentheses. Where's the parentheses in the title? Give it to me, please.
There's a moment in this film. It's early on, so it's when those guys are robbing the bank or whatever, and Superman stops them, and he has a line where he's like, no one roughs up my city, or like no one destroys my city. And then he says something else, and I was like, please let you say except me, because that would have been just gold. Like, no one gets to destroy Metropolis except me in that movie.
And in all the movies that he's saving the Metropolis from.
I just want someone to do that. Put that on YouTube. Just overdub it.
Just edit the mouth over with the mustache.
Oh, that's another thing that bothered me with the mustache. That's another thing that bothered me in this film. Some of the I feel like some of the lip syncing was really off, which is a very strange thing for something that was recorded in English and created in English.
Yeah, I've also noticed that DC likes to do the whole 30 frames per second motion, and it looks really weird in some cases because you can see the visible frame change sometimes at some points in the motion. That's just me, I guess.
Yeah.
Because some people like that sort of animation, and I guess they tried to do it in the old style-ish.
Yeah.
Of sorts, and I can understand that, but it looked kind of outdated in that case.
Yeah.
But meh.
Me. Speaking of dubbing things, one of my biggest problems with this film was Lex Luthor's voice.
Superman.
It is so whiny and dumb.
I'm the one who wins.
It's the worst. Yes, that line just killed me. I was like, what? This is not... Lex Luthor has a deep, commanding voice, and he keeps his cool for a lot of stuff and doesn't really go crazy unless he's being controlled or possessed by Brainiac, which is a thing that happens. And I'm like, he's just whining.
I'm Lex Luthor. I'm the one who wins.
Yes. I'm just like, what is this? Who are you?
God.
Please
it's
never
funny
use
because
his voice. It was so weird.
The Game Grumps have this running gag going. Aaron said something, and he was like, "I'm the Game Boy. I'm the one who wins." I don't know if it's from a skit that they did, or if it's from an old movie or something. But they say it all the time, and it just reminded me of that, and I just cracked up so much.
It reminded me of maybe if it was, it might be the Dragon Ball Z abridged.
Oh, is that a Frieza thing?
No, Vegeta, when he's in when he's complaining about he wanted to be the one that went Super Saiyan. He's just throwing a hissy fit. I was gonna be the Super Saiyan. I'm the Prince of Saiyan. And I'm just what? It's just it was so strange. I was watching it. I was like, what are you trying to accomplish with this character?
Yeah, it was pretty funny though. I started laughing at that point.
Yeah, I was like, this is so poor for him, because this is a character who successfully runs for and attains president of the United States. Mm-hmm. He's a mastermind. In his best form is more comparable to a Wilson Fisk from Daredevil than anything else. He's a brilliant man, and he's really good at playing everyone and playing the people and sort of appearing like this wonderful benevolent person who's out for the good of everyone, but secretly just absolutely hates Superman and wants to kill him. And so like, it's so strange to me when they take these turns with him where he's just like crazy or whiny or just a sociopath. I'm just like, what?
Also, I found his robot design pretty interesting because it had nothing but his face on the screen. So I assumed he was like remotely piloting it.
That's what I was assuming too.
Which was making sense, but then Doomsday pulled him out of the...
He was just in the thing.
I'm like, pretty sure he would have been a bit more smart than that.
Yes, absolutely. This man was just...
It's like, why just his face? Like, you can't even see his neck. And I was looking for that. I was like, okay, it's just a projection of his face on the screen, and it's fine. Nope, he got pulled out of it.
Nope, it's just
like,
dumb
okay,
looking.
Well, alrighty.
Yeah, yep.
Like Luthor.
But yeah. And also speaking to something you were mentioning earlier about like not knowing much about Doomsday, like we have Lex Luthor there to ask those questions in continuity and be like, where did this thing come from? And is it some alien force sending it in to wipe out all the strong people so they can just come in and take over? And I'm like, okay, cool. This is obviously just setting up for whatever's coming next. So I'm sure we'll see.
And I'd be okay with a sequel, seeing a sequel.
Yeah.
It was alright. It wasn't like bad. Like,
yeah.
It's definitely a good animated movie.
Yeah.
So much better than the live action Justice League. But
yes. Yeah. Like DC's pretty good at their animated films, which is another reason why. What?
I just have to say I'll probably watch the Super Friends too if it's as on par with this, which I've heard.
Is it? I don't know if I've seen that.
Not super. I mean, you have the one on Netflix. What's it called? It's just getting a season 3 now from like after.
Oh.
Like 10 years or something.
Young Justice.
Yeah.
Super Friends. I was like, did they make an animated film? Because that was a series with like.
No, I know. That's probably. I think that was like the Dexter's Laboratory thing.
Very meme-worthy series. But yeah, no, Young Justice. Yeah,
I might actually take a peek at that.
So excited. Yeah, I recommend it.
Interesting, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. So if it's better than this, then
yeah, I would say it is.
I'd be alright with that. So.
It's written a lot better. It's written so well. Season 2 is so good. And it ends on a cliffhanger. Like it literally, like one of the last scenes of it is just like these two villains being revealed. Oh. And you're like, whoa! And they're like, all right, time to get down to some actual business. And then just like rolls credits, and that's where we've been for several years. Just like,
good old animation.
Yeah.
But hey, at least we're getting a season 3 now.
Yeah, never thought it would happen, and neither did a lot of the people that worked on it.
Figured it. Yeah. I know Eric wasn't. Eric had been looking forward to it a long time.
Yeah.
But he was one of the other ones that told me to watch it.
There you go.
He loves that series. Like, I think he played it on Netflix without watching it.
Oh, yeah. He was one of those people, to get the views up. Yeah.
I'm like, Eric, you're ridiculous.
One of the Young Justice Squad.
I think he and, like, 2 of his family members did the same thing, like on their Netflix accounts. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous, but hey, you're getting a season 3 now, so
yep, there you go.
Maybe you had some effect on it.
All because of Eric.
Those extra views, man. It's so ridiculous.
Yes, but yeah, that typically DC does pretty well with their animated films. There are a few of them that were poorly done, and then there was
like Batman Ninja.
Batman Ninja was such a train wreck to me, and I think that's why I hated it. One of the reasons I hated it so much is like there's so many like good ones, and they've done so well, and then I watched this horse crap, and I was like, what is?
Yeah, I've definitely heard the opposite from quite a few people.
Yeah, no, I'm in the minority. I realize that,
is ridiculous.
And it's so strange to me. It's, gosh. Anyways, yeah, this movie was plenty serviceable. I need to watch some of the other ones too. You should watch some of the other ones too, but I don't know. What is your favorite like DC hero?
Oh God, I don't know. Maybe Aquaman.
Is that just strictly due to Jason Momoa?
No, I mean I like water-based characters.
Okay.
No, I like one of my main creation OC characters has an affinity for water and stuff.
That's pretty cool. I like that we got to see Mera even just for a brief second in this film. I wish we could have seen more of her, but
yeah, Mera's cool too. I like Atlantis. I like the Atlanteans, and it's a very neat concept to me. But other than that, I don't know. I guess Beast Boy is a close second. I do like the
Beast Boy is very cool.
Yeah, I like the whole like animal transformation thing he can do.
Did you watch the Teen Titans show that was on Cartoon Network?
I saw like maybe 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay. That one's really good too.
Yeah, so I've heard from you.
From me. And I mean, even if you don't feel like committing to that show, Beast Boy shows up in the 2nd season of Young Justice, so he'll be there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. But I mean,
and Static shows up in Young Justice. Man,
well, I don't know that, but I guess it's a case of like I don't know a lot of DC superheroes because I'm just not really interested in the dark gritty universe.
Yeah, I understand.
I hate to be that guy, but it's like Marvel seems a lot more light.
Yeah, true.
A lot more fun, I guess you could say.
Yeah, with the exception.
And I know that's not exactly the truth, but like the most publicity they've had has not been very good that I've seen. Like I don't read the comics.
Speaking of DC,
I pay more attention to the movies and stuff, and it just hasn't been there.
It's okay. No, that's a very viable opinion I think to have nowadays. So when the movies are capable of being good and should be good, but oh boy, DC. Yeah. Anyway. But anyway, Young Justice is great. Teen Titans is great. Definitely watch at least Young Justice. I think they're still on Netflix. I wonder if they maybe took them down already. I don't know.
I have.
That's
stuff,
right. So. You'll be all right.
I'll be fine. It'll be okay. I could probably watch season 3 too. But, you know.
Yes, indeed. Eddy will have his Young Justice.
I shall, if I want it.
Indeed. And you'll have to give me your further ideas of what you liked with it. But I mentioned Static. Static as in static. A lot of people say Static Shock because of that's the show that they made for him when they were kids.
Was that black kid with the dreadlocks?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he had like a black and white suit.
I think it was.
Or is it green and blue or something? It's like a really weird coloring.
It was blue and yellow. It was like Yami Yugi kind of. I think it's from memory. But yeah. He had electric powers, and he would fly around on like a little metal disc.
Why did I think of black and white? Like
I'm not sure. Let me check. Let me have a look see. But yeah, there was
I remember this better than you did.
There was a show called Static Shock, and from the WB. Yeah, it's blue and yellow. Yeah, his shirt is white with a black symbol, and his pants are black.
All right, so there is black and white coloring.
Right. Yes, we were both right. But he has like a big trench coat that's blue and yellow.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I remember that show. I didn't watch it, but
yeah. A lot of people mistakenly refer to him as Static Shock, but his Static Shock was the name of the show. His hero name was just Static. He shows up in season 2 of Young Justice, as does Black Lightning. I'm like, yeah, it was so cool. Yes, it's very, very cool. So, yeah, I'm excited for you to watch that. Speaking of, I still haven't finished the first season of Black Lightning, but I guess I will. I'll try to get that done. Maybe we can talk about that.
I've seen all of it.
Yes. But yeah, there's at least, when you're talking about Aquaman being your favorite, I guess, DC by default, there is at least one, I think it's called The Throne of Atlantis. There's a DC animated film about Aquaman. So maybe check that out. I haven't seen it. I don't know. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's not.
Thanks for the recommendation.
We can check it out and see. Based on their general run, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's very serviceable. I really like a lot of their Batman animated films. They're quite good. Whatever.
Now, one DC hero I don't like is Batman.
You're just jealous because he's the worst. No,
my god. Money is not a superhero. Superpower.
Look here. The superpower is being rich and very intelligent. Okay. I like Batman.
I have Tony Stark for that. He's so much more fun than Bruce Wayne.
That's very accurate. I will not fight that. I like Batman in his realm, like where it's just Batman in Gotham doing Batman things that are suited to Batman. Like he's kind of superfluous in like a Justice League setting. But yeah, but I like it when they just do like his Batman stuff, just Batman or just the Bat family. I'm super down for that. It's all good. But yeah. I think we can probably move on. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So what we've been nerding out to.
Death of the Superman was alright. I mean,
yeah, it was.
Ethan liked it. Watch it.
Good. Yep, I'd say watch it.
I watched it. You can watch it.
Indeed.
That's fine.
Rent it. You don't have to buy it, or I don't know, get it some other free way. I guess. Not recommending pirating.
That's illegal.
Yeah, certainly don't purchase it if you don't love DC animated films. But it's decent.
It's a good DC film, animated film.
What we've been nerding out to? What have you been nerding out to, Eddie?
I mean, I've been playing WoW like nonstop.
Absolutely. That's what we'd expect. Did the full thing drop?
Yeah, it dropped last week on the 13th, so just 5 days ago. I dated the episode. Woo! Anyway, it's really fun. I like it. It takes place in like a very Aztec-like island, or at least the Horde side does. The Alliance side takes place on a port, like geez, what do you call these things? I guess the whole thing is kind of like this boat port, ship port, or whatever you want to call it.
Gotcha.
It's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't think I was gonna like the Aztec area, but it has a lot of good atmosphere to it. I think Blizzard really knocked it out of the park with that. So been playing that nonstop. Got to max level already. Now I'm like farming up the equipment and stuff.
Gotcha.
So that's fun. The armor and the weapons, etc. But other than that, I just finished Orange is the New Black a few days ago.
Marvelous. How's that?
It's
I haven't watched any of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't even know what it's about. What is it about?
Well, it's about this girl named Piper. She got caught in like this money laundering scheme with her girlfriend like a few years back. So she turns herself in, and she is basically her like coping with prison life for like the 6 months that she had. And it's based on a true story and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I mean, I really like it. I think it's a great show. But hopefully it ends next season, because it looks like it's wrapping up. So it's been out for 6 seasons. The 7th one will be out next year. Probably.
I did not know that. Holy crap! I thought I had like 2. That is so many seasons.
Gotta be on its 7th season.
Holy crap!
But the 6th one was just released like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3.
So is each season just like 1 month of her?
No, because her sentence got extended a little bit because of a mishap that happened. But then like it time jumps like forward, and then there's no like specific time frame in the episodes.
Interesting.
It's very good. There's a lot of nudity. I don't know if you would like it.
Is it like funny? What is like what's
it's a comedy drama.
Gotcha. A dramedy.
Yeah, whatever.
Yep, just throwing words out.
But I like it. I think it's really good. But I don't know if you would, because there's like a lot of nudity.
Okay.
And it's a female prison, so.
Will avoid.
And I'm in the middle of watching Preacher, which I didn't know had started again like 2 months ago.
Excellent.
I don't know if you know about that, but
it was a comic, right?
Yeah, it was a Vertigo, I think.
Vertigo, yeah, that makes sense.
And
yeah,
it's very blasphemous, so you probably wouldn't like that either.
Sure, I don't really mind that kind of nonsense, so it's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
I'm secure in my faith. Like, I'll be all right.
It's just like I really like this show because it's so weird. But it's so like blasphemous. There's so many things it does. Like I'm
sorry. Complete your thought.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you watch Constantine?
Yes, I watched the movie with Keanu Reeves.
With Neo.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the show though? I know David really liked it.
Yeah, I heard good things about it, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But
David liked it, and then it got canceled, as it does. And
yeah, that's what I heard. That's why I hadn't really picked it up. Otherwise, I might have.
But they had the actors show up as Constantine and Arrow, which was really cool.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. So who knows?
But like, there's so much crazy stuff, and it's campy at times, but it makes it all the better because it's like it's a modern day setting. Like this Texas preacher like goes through, and because God's missing, like he left his post as God
on vacation.
So yeah, well they don't know, but they so he goes to look for him, and they get into all kinds of like shenanigans and stuff.
Interesting.
And
sounds neat.
Yeah, it's a fun show, but it's definitely not for the lighthearted, because there is like there's a bit of gore and stuff too. Definitely, it's not for the faint of heart or easily offended. Yeah. There is actually a bit of gore in there and stuff.
Oh, fun.
Which is surprising because one of the writers is Seth Rogen.
Huh.
Which is like that blew my mind initially, but it's so good. Like it's ridiculous how, and it's campy. It's campy at times, but that just makes it all the better to me. But I've been and like Satan is like the big like red satyr look with like the goat legs and stuff, and it's very obviously like a muscle suit. So he's this big buff guy, and like the creases in his arms look kind of foamy. Like it looks like it's made out of foam. And stuff.
That's good.
It's ridiculous.
And I love it. I know you're not one for comics, but if I were to ever suggest to you a comic, you'd probably like one called Adventures of God. On Webtoon. It's probably right up your alley with that type of humor. It's quite funny.
I'll have to check it out.
Please do. And anyone else who thinks if you like Preacher, you'll probably like that comic.
Speaking of which, I think I'm behind an episode, so I might have to go look at that afterwards. That's cool. What I've been nerding out to.
That's what you got? Well, so the first season, or the seventh season of Voltron is on Netflix now. So, yeah, and I
better get on that, huh?
You had better, Eddie. I was like super pumped for it, and then like, I think something distracted me last weekend. It's because it came out last Friday, so like I didn't watch a single episode until today. Like I remembered probably yesterday that it was up, and then I watched I watched the first 2 episodes today. It's good. It's fine. It goes a couple episodes without, like it goes like an episode and a half without any like established villain, because like I'm gonna do my best not to spoil anything, but like the most recent villain is kind of taken care of and wrapped up in the last season, and so now we're kind of more or less villainless. Like there are villains out there, but nothing's organized yet in the story. But like the end of episode 2, we get a little bit of that. So, but yeah, it's good. It's neato. We get a confirmation on Shiro's sexuality, which is like, I think
I've heard about that. It's like one thing I've heard, like
Yeah.
in like people saying, because I'm very connected in the social media,
Mhm.
so I saw all kinds of stuff about the relationships
yeah.
of the characters.
Yep. It's fun, Jack. I think it had already been like leaked and revealed in like a interview beforehand, so like I knew it was coming, and I was like, that's fine. It does mess up my ship, but I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Aw, your ship sunk, Ethan.
My ship indeed sunk, but I was like, oh well, it's fine. But yeah, overall, still good quality animation. Still liking the character. I like some of the new characters and the new character dynamics that they have going on. So it's cool. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to continue. I will likely watch more of it tonight. Outside of that, I am more determined than ever to beat Pokemon Quest without paying anything into it. And I think I'm going to try and beat it before...
Can you beat that game?
Yeah, there is an objective. You clear different areas and fields, and you're clearing them in order to open up this hidden area on the island. I have 2 areas left to clear before I open that up. And I'm very near the end of each. So like each area has probably like 6 to 7 like rounds that you go through before you get to a boss round. And then once you beat the boss, you clear the area. And yeah, I've cleared all but 2, and I'm at the boss fight for both of them, and they're ridiculous.
They're gonna add more to it, right?
Sure.
Add another area.
Yeah, that's
like another island, maybe.
Maybe I'd be all right with that if they also include a new generation of Pokemon. Sure, I'll be down. But I at least want to beat this bit before.
I'm sure.
I've made it my goal to beat this bit before. Hey You Pikachu or whatever it is. Let's go
Pikachu.
Not Hey You. Hey You Pikachu was a terrible game.
It wasn't terrible.
Okay.
It was difficult. But it was enjoyable.
Someone's got their nostalgia goggles on.
Maybe.
That game wasn't bad.
I'll have to go back and play it at some point. But I think I still have my copy, actually.
Wow. Who does?
I think I still have the microphone too, funny enough.
Oh my gosh. That's sweet. Nah, if you have that.
I don't know if I have the yellow ball.
Yeah, tweet a picture of that out on our Twitter. That's dope.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll add like a new island for like the next gen of Pokemon.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Because I know they've had a lot of success with it for actually.
Yeah.
Everybody likes, gotcha games, mobile games.
I've had to get so creative just to get through the last little bit. There's one area where I was stuck. I wasn't stuck on the boss. I hadn't gotten to the boss yet. I was stuck on the level just before it. And it was so annoying and absurd. Just in each run, you go through waves of Pokemon, and then there's a boss for each wave as well. And before even getting to the boss in that wave, there's Pidgeot right beforehand, and it's just ungodly strong. Like it's just like it should be its own boss, but it was so strong, and it had an attack that for some reason confuses your Pokemon, which is terrible in this game. Because it's just like ugh. Time means a lot, and if you're confused and you try to attack, you could end up wasting your attack and hurting yourself, which in often cases will cause the most damage to your Pokemon, especially higher level Pokemon. They'll hurt themselves harder than any other thing would hurt them. And then you have to, and that's on a timer, so you have to wait for that to run out. Meanwhile, you also have to wait for your attacks to cool down so you can use them again. It's so annoying. What I ended up doing for this, a while back I got a stupid high level Onyx. But so like in the way this game works for your Pokemon, they all have like slots for stones that you can put into their like character cards, and the stones either increase their health or their attack, and there's specific slots for specific stones. So I got this Onyx, it's like level 60 Onyx, and it had like 5 slots open, 5 or 6, which is a higher amounts than normal, or than your lower level Pokemon, but they were only health stones. I could only give him health. I couldn't increase his attack at all. And for a while that was useless to me. But then I was like, you know what? If I just make an unkillable Pokemon, even if they kill my other Pokemon, because your Pokemon, when they are KO'd, they'll eventually revive if your other Pokemon lasts long enough. So I was like, I'll just make an unkillable Onyx, and eventually I'll win, because my Pokemon will eventually heal and revive, and they'll just keep attacking, because our boss monsters don't heal themselves. And by the skin of my teeth, that worked. It got me through it, killed that dumb Pidgeot, and the boss for that round was 3 Dodrios, which is crazy.
It's like 9 Digletts.
Yeah, just like it, yes. But yeah, those big, stupid 3-headed birds, and they just wrecked me every time. There were so many of them. I could only get like one maybe halfway down before Pokemon Party would just wipe. But with my big unkillable Onyx, we made it happen. And I was just, it was so strange to me to have to actually do that. That did not work, however, on the next level, on the final boss level of that, because the final boss level is a lot more water Pokemon, so they would have advantage over my Onyx. His strength doesn't really do me any good in this, so I have to figure out another way. They'll give you bonus attack and life for certain type advantages, and for that particular area, the bonus type is electric. And up until very recently, like yesterday, the only electric Pokemon I had was my Raichu, and that was just annoying, because like it would only give me so much. And then I got a Magnemite, and I'm like, yay! But his 2 attacks are both steel type, and I'm like, come on.
Rip.
Yep. Dumb.
Rip-a-dip.
He at least gets a little bit of an attack and health bonus, because they do regular attacks by themselves, and then your special attacks are things that you can choose when they do it. And those are the things that have cooldown, but like it's just I will beat this game though. I will do it, and I will not spend money on it. But yeah, and then the other level that I'm stuck on, it's ice and psychics, so like Jinx, and then like dugongs and cloisters, which are ice and water, and like I have like nothing to combat that, because like fire is strong against ice, but they're not strong against water, so like stupid, pointless. And then I think the bonus they have for you in that one is psychic, so like if you bring psychic Pokemon in, you get a bonus, and I'm just like, that doesn't do anything for me in this final fight. They're like, it's pointless. So yeah, that's done. But I will get through it. I'll figure it out. Figure out some way, something.
Some way, somehow.
What doesn't get hurt by ice?
I don't know. Ice is...
I think fire is resistant to it, but they're not resistant to the water part of like Dugong and Cloister, so they're gonna get wrecked anyway. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah. Fire is strong against ice, fighting, and rock, I believe. Also steel. Steel's strong too.
Yeah, that's true. Fighting is true. I forgot about fighting. Yeah. Anyways, it's frustrating, but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna be all right. And yeah, I think that's about all I've been nerding out to. That and Voltron, and yeah, I will also likely be watching more Black Lightning. Oh, and the full trailer for Iron Fist dropped. Did you watch that?
I have not seen it.
I would check that out. it looks good, but then again, like all the trailers for all of these series, I think have looked good, and we've been burned. So I'm trying to take it with a grain of salt, but it does look pretty cool. And based off of the Iron Fist that we got in Luke Cage season 2, I think they're gonna do a bit better.
Viable improvement.
Yes. So
I'll watch it. So.
However,
we'll see.
There's a character in the trailer. You're gonna say it. Misty's in the trailer, and I'm like, if Misty is in this and Luke Cage is not, I'm gonna lose my mind. Just like, I don't care about Misty. Well, if they make me endure her presence,
she's a character. She's a main character. She might get her own show eventually.
Yeah, well, hard pass.
Speaking of which, Cloak and Dagger ended.
Oh yeah, you've been liking that?
It was actually really good.
Cool.
I enjoyed it. The ending was a little bit anticlimactic, but the trip was alright. I liked it. So
I'll have to figure out a way to watch that. Yeah.
But they actually name dropped Misty as well.
Gosh.
So they apparently they know supers exist in this universe as well.
Okay, is it so are they connecting it to the actual established universe?
I think so, yeah. Because one of the police ladies, or at least the main police lady that we know. So the main character police lady that's in there that's assisting the two. Basically, she's explaining to her friend oh yeah, supers are a thing. I have a friend, a coworker up in New York named Misty, and she blah 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 blah. So
gotcha. Okay, where is it set?
Basically connected now. I don't remember. Oh, look, it's New Orleans. It's set in New Orleans.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. I think the movie. Well, I don't know. I've never seen the movie from the 80s. I think it's from the 80s.
I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, that existed. So I don't know if it was set in San Antonio, but I think it was filmed there, on a riverwalk, which is interesting. But,
oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't mind actually seeing that and seeing if I can recognize anything. But yeah. Anywho,
there's a lot of voodoo stuff.
Ah,
of course.
That's cool.
As you do in Louisiana.
Yeah. Good.
It's the only interesting thing about the state.
No, we've got great food.
Well, that's not really well, I guess it is an interest. So,
yeah.
Historically.
Mm-hmm. And jazz.
Yeah. Acquired tastes.
Certainly. Speaking of jazz, I downloaded Skullgirls. You ever played that?
I'm not a fighting game person.
That's right, you're not. That's true.
I know of it, but I haven't played it.
I love the music in that game.
Yeah, that was a big draw to it. Aside from it being an indie game.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking spectacular. And there's their Encore edition. They're gonna drop on the Switch. Supposedly, I think.
Oh, speaking of which, but continue.
That was about my thought. I just started playing it today. It's fun. It's good music.
Funnily enough, last week, we were talking about how Blizzard doesn't have anything on the Switch, and then all of a sudden there was an announcement for Diablo 3 coming on the Switch.
Heck yeah!
So I predicted that. It was me.
You heard it here first.
No, I figured it would happen sooner or later. Blizzard would start bringing it toward the Switch, but that gives hope to Overwatch coming on the Switch as well. So.
That would be pretty cool. I would play it then.
Because that with motion controls would be amazing.
That would be cool. As badly as I want a PS4, it just seems less and less likely for right now.
Please.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm sure we'll start hearing murmurs of the next gen, next E3.
Yeah, likely so. But that still there's still plenty of things on the PS4 that I want to play. So. Yeah,
absolutely. Especially with Kingdom Hearts coming.
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe.
Maybe around Christmas.
Maybe. But that gives hope to Overwatch and possibly any other future releases that Blizzard comes about.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So that's what you need to be looking out for, everyone. Check it out, and please check into any of the other things we mentioned. It's all good stuff. But yeah, I think that about does it. That's about the show there.
Yeah.
You can let us know what you thought if you've seen Death of Superman. Let us know what you thought about it, and let us know anything else that you're nerding out to, or if you've nerded out to anything that we've reviewed in the past and want to let us know what your thoughts are. You can hit us up on Twitter at TNYKPod. You can also find us on Facebook, and you can get the podcast on iTunes and Google Play, as well as YouTube, Podbean, Twitter, Stitcher, Castbox, Podbean. Those things. I probably said Podbean twice. That's okay. But thanks to anyone who listens and shares it with a friend. We very much appreciate that. You are wonderful souls. Yeah, that's about it this week. My name is Ethan.
I'm Eddie.
And we are those nerds you know. Bye.